COVID-19. Hang on a second. That's better. This is Everett, and this is your COVID-19 survival guide. So I don't know about you, but this quarantine, this lockdown has been stressful for me. There's been uncertainty about my finances. There's been uncertainty about my relationships, my job. And to be honest with you, it is scary. Whether you buy into it being a government conspiracy, no matter what you think it is about, it's still affecting each and every one of us every single day. And we've never been through anything like this. And so a lot of marriages are splitting up. A lot of families are being impacted negatively. So I want to give you 5 things that have worked for me during the coronavirus. And if they work for me, they'll work for you, because honestly, I'm a hot mess. In the first couple weeks during lockdown, things weren't going so well. And then I implemented these 5 things, which I've used at different points in my life, but it is imperative for me to use them now. These are 5 tips that will help you quarantine better or just get through your day better, even when this is over, on a day-to-day basis. All right, check it out. All right, number 1, disconnect. Now I know what you're saying. I need my phone. I need the television. Can you disconnect for an hour a day? Let me explain why. Do you really want the last thing that you watch before you go to bed to be something negative? I always like to use the acronym FEAR. False evidence appearing real. Well, this COVID-19 pandemic has really caused a lot of us to look at our mortality. And what is the news constantly telling you? How many deaths there are and how many new sick cases there are. I can't even log into my banking app without me seeing something about COVID-19. And it's not that it's not serious, it is. But we can only control the things that we can control, and we've got to leave the rest to God. So give yourself a break. Maybe just watch the news twice a day. Maybe just check in on your Facebook feed about it a couple times a day. But at the very least, give yourself 30 minutes when you first wake up in the morning, and give yourself 30 minutes before you go to bed at night. You do not want the last thing that you do. Let me back up a little bit. Let me give you an example. I used to be addicted to crime and murder shows. I used to watch ID Discovery all the time. I would go to bed to murder shows. Crazy, right? I know I'm not the only one. Don't leave me hanging. And it made me be more fearful. I remember just being more tense. And it wasn't good for me. And so neither my wife or I try to watch those things anymore. But if we do, we make sure we don't do it before bed. You don't want the last thing on your mind before you're going into dreamland to be something negative, something that's going to scare you.
Why is that, Everett?
You threw me off. Because it sits on your subconscious? Okay. You don't want the last thing to be sitting on your mind, because it's going to sit on your subconscious for the whole 6 to 8 hours that you sleep. And that's not what you want to occur. And when you wake up in the morning, and Wendy and I argue about this every now and then, not like we used to, but also concerning the morning. You got enough going on in the morning, but you're fresh. Give yourself a few minutes before you pick up that phone. Give yourself a few minutes before you decide to turn on the television. Just give yourself a minute to kind of get oriented, because what you do in the morning is also going to stick with you for the majority of the day. And honestly, a quick grateful list, or maybe just giving thanks to God, will be very beneficial and get you started in the right direction. And those are some things that you can do all the time. You can pray and do a gratitude list before you go to bed, and you can pray and do a gratitude list when you wake up in the morning. It will be a game changer for you. In fact, gratitude has been the catalyst and the anchor for me when I feel like I'm starting to float off into space a little bit. Okay, so turn off the television before you go to bed, 30 minutes, and leave it off 30 minutes when you wake up in the morning, and turn off the alerts on Facebook, Google, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I'm getting old, I can't remember them all. But give yourself a break, okay? Number 2, get some fresh air. Fresh air does lots of great things for your health. It boosts your serotonin, which is going to help your mood improve. It gives you vitamin D, which we know is good for you. We take supplements of vitamin D. It also is going to give you more energy, and it's going to help relax you. And you can look up all of these benefits. I found them on HuffingtonPost.com. So get some fresh air, and somebody else is going to thank you are the people that you live with, whether it's your kids, wife, husband, cousin, uncle, whoever you have to be around, especially with us being as stressed out and as worried as we are right now, as fearful as we are right now. It is imperative to get outside and get some fresh air. I liken it to being around that friend that puts you in a really good mood. You just like being around them because they just raise your spirits. Well, go outside and let God lift your spirits. Get you some fresh air. There's science behind it. Number 3, and piggybacking off of number 2, breathe. I want to read something for you. This is according to an article on Forbes.com by Patricia Gearbarg. What happens when you slow down your breathing? This is why slow, deep breathing is so powerful. It effectively hacks into your nervous system and causes the whole thing to change its state to one of calm. Slow exhalations in particular activate this nerve and cause your entire autonomic nervous system to basically chill out. Now, I don't know about you. Sometimes I need a chill pill. Breathing is literally a chill pill. And if you have a tool at your disposal that you can use to make sure that you talk to your loved ones with respect, to make sure that you don't get too worked up and say something you don't mean. Because while we're all stressed out, while we're feeling fearful, we don't want to say something right now that's going to have a permanent impact on what will end up being a temporary situation. We don't want to end up saying something that will have a permanent impact on what will be a temporary situation. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is not true. There are things that I have said to people that I care about that I'll never be able to take back. And I don't want that to happen anymore. And I know in particular, taking deep breaths has really benefited me in my marriage, and it's benefited me in dealing with my children, or really any situation that I find myself frustrated. Take a moment while you're taking your moment outside. Number 2, to take a breath. Just slow down and take a deep breath. Everything slows down a bit. You're able to gather your thoughts. Things aren't so rushed. And again, this is something that your loved ones will thank you for. Slow down and take a deep breath. So this will be 3B. Breathing was 3A. Just get some deep breaths. But if you really are feeling up to it, meditate. There are countless free resources on YouTube, Spotify, any streaming service is going to have guided meditations. They have breathing ones. They have ones that just have music. They have all types of guided ones. And my wife reminded me that at first meditating can be a little, what's the word you used? Intimidating. She said meditating can be intimidating, and it can. Do you want to know why? Because you're sitting there and you're closing your eyes and you're trying to focus and your mind is running wild. Your thoughts are all over the place. But that's okay. When you meditate, there's no right way to do it. Don't try to be perfect when you do it. Just take a moment while you're doing your breathing. Find a guided meditation, and until you get used to it, just let them talk you through it. But I know for a fact that this does help you out a lot, and you can look up the information on meditation if you'd like. And you know, the Bible says a lot about meditating on the word, or meditating on certain issues. Something else you can do is pick a mantra. We are constantly being bombarded this day and age with negative information, even before the spread of the coronavirus. And if you think that that's not impacting you, you are wrong. So why not take a moment when you're meditating to focus on a word that's positive, like grace, mercy, love, fruits of the Spirit, and just close your eyes and just repeat love, love, grace, mercy. And watch how things slow down and begin to change for you. Someone much smarter than me once told me that meditating is for listening to God and praying is for talking to God. So for 3B, meditate. Number 4, get dressed for God's sake. Take off your pajamas, man, and put on some regular clothes. I know that a lot of us feel like we don't have to get dressed, and you don't have to get dressed. But when you look good, don't you tend to feel better? I know on the days that I've kind of worn, I won't say pajamas, but basketball shorts, which is pretty much my pajamas. It is my pajamas. I tended to be lazy around the house because I would look at myself in a mirror and I'm giving myself the signal that it's time to chill out and it's time to relax. And I can only relax for so long before I'm in like full bum mode. And I'm almost expecting myself to be bummy. So get dressed. Get up and get dressed. Even if you don't have anything specific to do, you will just feel better about it. And if you look good, your confidence is going to be raised. You're just going to feel better internally. So get up and get dressed. Number 5, get a pen or a pencil and something to write on for this one. I really believe that there is a lesson to be learned in all things. So one thing I stopped and asked myself is, why would all of my plans and everything that I had planned on doing in 2020 be put on pause or put to a stop? Asking God the question, why is this happening? Maybe I needed to improve my relationship with my wife. Maybe I needed to improve my relationship with my kids. If I'm single, maybe I need to practice more self-care. What is the thing that's been nagging you? And here's something else to think about too. I'm sure all of you are very valuable at your jobs, but if you are feeling less than because you're not able to provide that service, something is wrong with your outlook and how you see yourself, because you are not the things that you do. You take away that thing and there should still be something there that you feel confident in. And if you're feeling opposite that, that's something that you need to address. So maybe write down some reasons that you think that you may be home right now. Some people are going to be much better off when this thing ends because they took a moment to ask themselves, or even better, talk to God. Why am I home right now? What is it that you're trying to show me? That is a question each and every one of us should be asking ourselves, because there is a lesson to be learned from every situation, even one as negative as this one has been. Okay? So take some time, get a pen and some paper, maybe after you've done your breathing or your meditating or your walk, and ask the questions, why? God, why am I here? Why am I home right now? What is it that you want me to do? What is it that I need to be improving on? All right, let's recap what we've been over tonight. Number 1, disconnect from your phone, your social media, your TV. Give yourself 30 minutes in the morning so you can wake up gently, and give yourself 30 minutes at night. You do not want the last thing you do to be watching television and it's talking to you about the death toll, and then you go to bed for the next 6 to 8 hours thinking about something so negative. It will impact your day and it will impact the people around you. And even if you're by yourself, it's really going to impact you negatively. Number 2, get some fresh air every single day. Get outside, even if it's just for a drive. We've already talked about the health benefits. This will help you out tremendously. Number 3, breathe. Slowing down and breathing puts your mind in a place of calmness. That way we can make the right decisions and maybe not say something that we don't mean and end up making permanent choice for what will end up being a temporary situation. 3B, meditate. There are tons of free resources on YouTube. Everybody's got YouTube. And if you have Spotify or iTunes or Amazon Music, there are all kinds of guided meditations and breathing exercises. So start there. But I can tell you from experience that meditation has saved a wretch like me many days. Number 4, get up and get dressed. My mother always told me you look good, you feel good. And then a lot of the things I read say fake it till you make it. What's gonna happen when you get dressed is you're gonna trick yourself into being productive. You're gonna trick yourself into feeling better. We know that sometimes looking good can make us feel better. In fact, looking good does make us feel better. Number 5, and this may be the most important one. Ask yourself why. Why, God? What is it that you're trying to show me here? Why am I home? Who do I need to reach out to? Do I need to be a better friend? Do I need to get organized in my house? There are a ton of questions. So ask those questions. Get your pen and paper out and make sure that you're ready to receive the answer when you get it. This has been an unprecedented and scary time in our lives. One of the things I've struggled with the most is, what do I say to my kids? I can't even keep them protected from it. They even bring it up at the table sometime. And when your kids start getting scared, you tend to start getting scared too. But sometimes even holding that inside, especially, as a parent, putting on that brave front, this can all be very troublesome and worrisome. So I just wanted to give you guys some things that have helped me during this quarantine. And these are things that I will continue to implement on a day-to-day basis. Even if I get away from them, I'm just gonna keep trying again, because it is better than me saying something to somebody that, something rude to somebody that I care about that maybe I can't take back. So I'll leave you with this. This is Psalm 23. This has helped me tremendously. So I'll leave you with this. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack for nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23 reminds us of what God alone can control and what we can control. It distinguishes between problems and facts. It defines God as our possession, our provision, our peace, our pardon, our partner, our preparation, our praise, and our paradise. John Maxwell, Leadership Bible. I encourage you to take a look at Psalm 23 if you need lifted. God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.